Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi. And today's video is a little bit different because I'm taking you along wine tasting. This is beautiful.
I was like, you can go through the door.
Yeah. So let me just start by saying I'm not a big drinker. Like, not at all. I'll have a drink here and there at a social event, maybe a mixed drink, maybe a glass of wine, but definitely not something that I do often. Like a little setup at what is it called? The little bar area.
Okay.
And they say they completely
Close. No, you were gonna say something? No, I just wanted to know, we're picking the wines for you for the tasting, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Thing about me, I do love a sweet white wine. And I already know some people will probably say that's basic, but listen, I like what I like. However, I really wanted to step outside my comfort zone and broaden my horizons a little bit. I wanted to learn more about the different types of wine, understand wine etiquette, and just experience something new.
Okay? As you're drinking your wine, you want to make sure that all the aromas and flavors you don't want don't come out of the glass. So because of that, we always make sure that we're using our stem to hold the glass with. Okay?
Now let's talk about the food, because there was food and it was good. We had these little charcuterie boards at our table. It was just a nice selection of finger foods, cheeses, crackers, fruits, things like that. It paired really well with the wines and it just added to the whole experience. It wasn't heavy, just enough to snack on while we were tasting the wine and talking. So the vibe of this place was really nice. It had a relaxed, social atmosphere, perfect for just unwinding and enjoying the experience. I went with friends, which honestly made it even better, because for me, it wasn't just about the wine, it was about the fellowship, the conversation, and spending quality time together. And let's be honest, doing something new is always easier when you're with people you're comfortable with. So let's talk about the actual wine tasting. So we got to try a variety of wines. White wines, red wines, sweet, dry, all of the above.
The wine stays at the right temperature the entire time you guys are drinking the wine, okay? So, when you see them swirling, if you can't swirl in the air, that's fine. You're gonna make little circles on the table.
And I went into it thinking, okay, maybe I'll discover something new. Maybe I'm going to become a wet wine girl after this. Let's just say that did not happen. I tried the red wines. Some of them were so-so, and yeah, they're just not for me. I can appreciate the experience and I can see why people enjoy them, but personally, I just didn't love the taste. Now, the white wines, that's a different story. I definitely gravitated towards those, especially with sweeter notes, which honestly just confirms what I already knew about myself.
What you asked us for. So, when you're talking about halted fermentation, there's two ways to halt fermentation. All right? The places that we So instead of giving them Chardonnay, I give them You might not necessarily smell the vanilla, that's fine. Okay? So the reason I mentioned vanilla is because when you have wines that were lacerated in oak barrels into these,
No, the last one.
just how this wine was, it's going
This one. Yeah, my favorite. Yeah.
It's very crisp.
I feel like I tasted. Oh, maybe because you say the black pepper, I could taste it. Okay, I smell the cinnamon.
But I will say, trying dry wines was interesting.
No, that ain't for me.
So if you
It wasn't something that I would normally go for, but it really helped me understand the difference in the flavor profiles, how wide range they really are. Getting to learn more about the different regions and soils that produce different wines and how that affects the flavor profile really was a good note. That some of my favorite wines comes from a particular region. I'm pretty sure I love the wines that came from Italy. I like the Moscatos and of course the Pinots.
I'll just drink it one time just to finish it off. It's not my favorite. I was just recording that the last but I was going to finish it.
Another thing I really enjoyed was just learning the etiquette behind wine tasting, like swirling the glass, smelling the wine before tasting it, taking small sips. It's actually a whole experience. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably looked a little awkward at first trying the whole thing, but you do get the hang of it. It made me appreciate wine tasting as more than just drinking. It really is about paying attention to the details, the flavor, and just being present in the moment. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of the night was just the social aspect. Laughing, talking, and sharing our own opinions on the wine. Like, do you like this one? Because I kinda don't. This is my favorite. It just made everything feel more fun and less serious. Because let's be real, not everyone is a wine expert, and that's okay. Here's a look at the selection of wines we sampled during our tasting experience. So my overall thoughts on my wine tasting experience. I would say it was definitely worth it. It was fun, it was social, it pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit, which I loved. Would I do it again? Yes, but probably at a different establishment. That's not to say this one was bad. I would just like to experience something different in the wine selections and seeing if my experience changes, or because who knows, maybe I just haven't found the right red wine yet. So after the wine tasting, we decided to keep the night going and we went to another restaurant to get some actual food. And here's where I switched things up a little bit. I ended up getting a lychee martini, and let me tell you, it was really good. I decided to go with cracked lobster and fries off the menu, and it didn't disappoint. So that was a nice way to end the night. But as of right now, I'm sticking with my sweet white wines, and honestly, I'm okay with that. If anything, this experience just reminded me that it's okay to try new things, even if you end up right back where you started. At least now I know for sure what I like and what I don't. So if you ever thought about going wine tasting, I would definitely recommend trying it at least once. Go with friends, keep an open mind, and just enjoy the experience.
This bottle is gonna dry soon. So I think this might be the end of my vlog.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know, what's your go-to wine? Are you a red wine person, white wine person, sweet, dry? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in my next adventure.